Right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Facebook Live that we do once a week. So my name is Dale. I run the Sack the Boss team, and I'm really fortunate this evening that we've got Terri, who is one of our kind of longer standing partners in the team. So I think Terri joined us about 20 months ago, something like that. Terri, does that sound about right?
Yeah, that's about right. Yep.
Yeah. So what we do is on these calls, if you have been watching, we get a lot of feedback that a lot of people watch these calls, especially on our repeat, Terri. So we do get thousands of people watching these. And what we have been focusing on was brand new partners that had joined our Sack the Boss team and we're working with UW. But Terri, with yourself and with lockdown happening and with homeschooling happening, we thought it would be quite good to bring yourself onto the call, just because, you, first of all, mum of two?
Yep, two wee boys.
Two wee ones. What age are they?
They're 2 and 4, so a bit of a handful.
Right, okay, definitely a handful. So 2 and 4. And also, you're studying as well?
Yep, full-time student, doing my Masters of Research in International Relations at the minute, yeah, so very busy.
Right, so you really have your plate full.
Yep.
Okay, so listen, I think this will be quite good. This will be a good chat to have, not just for people who are maybe looking at this, at the Sack the Boss team and thinking of it as a really flexible way to make some money, but this will also be really useful for there's 500 odd people registered to work within our organisation in the Sack Boss, and it'll be really useful for some of them too, because homeschooling is not easy, as everyone's learning. Working from home at the best of times can take a little bit of difficulty. You need to be able to create planning and all that kind of stuff. So, looking forward to getting a wee bladder with you. What I'll do, before we go into a bit more detail with Terri, I'm going to very briefly play a quick 60-second video. Joanna Lumley is the face of UW, and UW is the company that everyone in Sack the Boss partners up with. When you partner up with UW, you can work from home, but you've got the support of Sack the Boss to help you with all your training, learning your skills. And like I say, Joanna's going to talk just for 60 seconds, just to give folk a little flavour of what we might be able to offer you when it comes to making money working from home. So, 2 seconds.
How quickly the world has changed. You can't go out. You can't see your friends. You can't keep your business open, it's not safe. You can't come in on Monday, we've had to make cutbacks. I'm sorry, you can't work here. You're too experienced. Not experienced enough. Your English isn't perfect. Well, there is a business for the people who want to say no to can't. A business that's open to everyone. A business that doesn't care where you're from, what your language is, or what you did before. That pays the same whether you're a man, woman, young or old. A business that you can do whenever and wherever you like. A business that isn't bothered about what you can't do, only what you can.
You just love Joanna Lumley when you watch her, don't you? She's just such a silky smooth voice.
She does that.
She
makes
does.
you feel relaxed and quite happy about life.
Yeah. Okay, Terri, so listen, let's hear a little bit more about you. So you were introduced to the team by who?
By Christine Anderson. So yeah,
Right.
she's a good mentor and somebody good to have in your team as well.
Okay, and I've got some notes here if you don't mind, so I want to make sure we got all the right kind of stuff from you.
Yep.
So give us, married?
Yep, married, yep.
Good, married, 2 kids, busy family life, full-time student. What's your work background?
Well, I actually used to work for a big utility company as a PA to the director. So yeah, a wee bit different from this. I've had all sorts of jobs. I was a holiday rep at one point, been there, done that.
Been there, done that. Some of those holiday rep jobs, you'll bet some good stories there, I'm sure.
Well, I suppose.
Right, okay, so listen, studies. So you're studying what? What is it exactly you study?
It's a master's in international relations. So when I started this, I was in my third year at uni doing my undergrads, which was politics and sociology. So I've just went on to do my master's now.
Right, wow. Sociology, politics, that's some good stuff. And when, you know, why did you get involved? Because, see, to be honest, you sound as if you've got too much on your plate. How, you know, what made you want to get involved in Sack the Boss?
Originally, money, like everybody else. I had two young kids. My little boy was just turned 1, and my youngest had just turned 1. So I had no other way of working from home is my only option while doing my studies. So to me, this was the ideal opportunity to earn some cash and to work around my kids and work around my studies.
Okay, so you need that flexibility.
Yep, 100%. Yeah.
And for folk who are watching this and aren't part of the team, explain the flexibility you get, like doing this kind of role as opposed to having a job working, you know, in an office or something like that, or working in a, I don't know. There's not much open anymore to work in. I'm trying to think.
There's not, but this allows me to actually be able to fit it in when I can. It doesn't take a long time. You can make it take as many hours or as little hours as what you want and what you need. For me, I don't do a lot of hours in this business, but yet I still make enough money to keep us going. You know, I still make that wee bit of extra income that I'm needing, which is ideal, obviously. And now I'm looking at the business long term, which is what I should have been doing since the beginning. But I just love the flexibility. It doesn't take long to send a message or to pick up the phone and phone somebody and to book appointments in the diary. So for me, that's just ideal. It's ideal business.
Yeah. Okay. No, I can. Obviously, I'm totally sold on it. But yeah, that is one of the big perks I feel as well. That just that flexibility, like you can just move things if you need to, because life can throw us curveballs all the time. And especially when you've got young children and stuff, you know, you could maybe make an appointment, but kids, then everything falls apart in the house with the wains, and you know, yeah. Flexibility with us is we can quite easily give somebody a call and say, listen, I'm really sorry, is there any chance we just move that? And we're in control. So yeah, no, that's good. Right. But I also want to be upfront and honest, you know, because not every job is all roses and petals. You know, every job has got its challenges as well. So you've been with us now 20 months. Has it all been rosy and plain sailing?
No, not at all.
Tell
In
us
the
why.
beginning, when I started, I didn't know how to contact people. Considering the jobs that I've done in the past, you know, I'm a very chatty person, but I found it difficult to speak to people that I knew about this business. And I started doing winner minis, and I built my customer base that way, and I loved them. And then I went back to uni, and I had to put the business down because I didn't feel at that time, my little boy was only 1, my other one was only 3, and I wasn't organised enough to, you know, continue on. So I put it down for probably about 6 months to a year, and then I started it back up again. And now I kind of regret putting it down because I know how flexible it is. I know how easy it is just to send out the messages, and I could have continued to do that whilst I was at uni the last time, and I've managed it this time. So I've got no excuses apart from, you know, it was all in my own head. So it was just difficult to get myself around into the way of thinking as to, you know, it doesn't take long to pick up the phone. You're not asking anybody to do anything for you. You're just basically trying to help them. And I wish I'd been trying to do that sooner.
Do you know, Terry, I think sometimes that the way it's happened for you is the way it had to happen.
Yeah, me too.
And you know, the beauty about what we do is we are the bosses. Not, I'm not your boss. You're part of the team and I run the team, but I can't tell you what to do. And if I did tell you what to do, you'd tell me where to go. So, but that's the beauty of this business. You know, the fact is you decide at any point when you felt that, you know, you were getting a bit too inundated with everything else personally? Were you castigated? Did we make you feel awkward because you were too busy to get involved with us?
No, never. And you know, I still came along to team meetings. I still tried to, you know, come along to the opportunity presentations and things like that, because I knew that that was what I needed to continue to do in order to keep my head in the game without actually going out and making appointments all the time. So it's not always about that either. It's not always about just constantly having appointments in the diary. It's about everything else that goes along with it. So I focused on that, where I could put my time at that time, you know, because like I say, uni, the kids, and then lockdown, obviously the beginning of lockdown happened. So yeah.
And so you just said there that now you're more focusing on the longer term, the bigger picture. I think for folk who are not part of the team, but are maybe curious about earning money with us, just explain what you mean by that.
I'm looking now to build a team, and for the long term to get my residual income. So
residual income, explain the residual income bit a wee bit more, just because to you and I, we know what that means.
Yeah.
Some of our guests have no idea what we're talking about.
So residual income is basically money that will go into my bank account, even if I do nothing, on a monthly basis. So that's by building up your team, building up your customer base, and it's just drip feeding into your account. So my plan is to get enough residual income that I can help my mum out, because she's got a terrible pension, as I think most people do her age. So for me, it's all about making sure that I can pay my mortgage and look after my mum.
So you've got a wee focus there about your mum, looking after her. That's nice.
Yeah.
Are there any bad points about joining the team, doing this kind of work? Because again, look, nothing's perfect in life. Nothing's 100% excellent. Not even Celtic is clear to see.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, let's not. I don't want to start crying.
No, we'll not go there. The bad point would be your comfort zone, because that's what happened to me. I felt uncomfortable speaking to people that I knew about this business and about this opportunity, even though I knew that it could help them. And I had to go over myself a wee bit, and be able to get out of my comfort zone and understand how I can benefit my friends and my family, and how I can benefit people I know, and actually do something really good for them. And that took me a wee bit of time and a wee bit of learning, which is why I did stick in with the trainings and why I did keep into the team, you know, as much as I could.
And if you had some folk, so as always, there's folk watching live now, and there'll be thousands watch this on replay. So it's more for the folk watching the replay, because you know, that's where we get most of our viewings. If somebody's watching this video right now, they're curious about earning money with us, they know they need to do something, they're scared to go and get one of the traditional jobs just because of what's happening in the world right now. What would your message be to those folk?
Don't second guess it, just do it. It's not a big deal just to try it, give it a try. All the training's here for you. The support is amazing with the team, and it's a very easy job to do, although it seems really difficult in the beginning, but it's not. It's just really easy. You can fit it in. It's really flexible. I don't understand why people don't do it, because it is so easy, in my opinion.
Do you think it's maybe because they have to pay £10 to be a partner? And in some people's heads, they've got this mentality of, if I have to pay for a job, then it can't be a job.
I think it's partly that, and partly that you're doing it from home and people aren't used to that kind of way of working yet. People think that you have to go into a building and get paid an hourly rate, when it's not like that. This job allows you to be your own boss. Like you say, it's called Sack the Boss for a reason, you know. And you can be your own boss, you can make this work around you. And if you don't do the work, you don't get paid. It's as simple as that. But when you do the work, you get paid a lot. I mean, my second month of doing this, I earned enough money to take me and my husband and my 2 kids on holiday. So all inclusive, it was lovely. You know, it definitely can work for you. You just need to put a wee bit of effort in.
That's the key bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's the effort.
Yeah.
And that's what I notice, because we do, we get lots of people joining. And sometimes what I think folk do is they join thinking that, oh, this is the solution that's going to give me all the money I need and I don't have to do any work.
Yeah.
So they think, oh, great, I'll sack the boss, cut 200 quid an hour, I'll just sit drinking my Bellinis and just watch the money pour in. But what they don't realise is, yes, we can earn astronomical amounts of money.
Yeah.
But it all starts with learning.
100%.
Plugging into the training.
Yeah.
And persistence.
100%. Persistence is key for me, I think. Just need to keep going. Don't let go of the rope, with that, as they always say, Don't let go of the rope.
Yeah, I got that from Wes Linden. He's a fantastic leader in our business. Yeah. And I remember we went to a training drove to Newcastle, and he actually brought a rope to the training. And he made one person in this, maybe like 70 people in the room, and he put the rope around everyone, and he was basically saying, look, this time in 3 years, some of you guys will have let go of this rope. And it was all about, you stay holding on that rope, you build that royalty income. Because 3 years from now, when you're getting $1,000 or $2,000 a month coming into your bank, you don't see it, and because it's so far away, but you have to put the work in now.
Yeah.
To get to that point.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely not get rich quick, that's for sure. It's get rich, but you have to do the work, as you said. Okay, so how long are we in? 15 minutes. That's good. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a wee break, just a kind of couple of minutes. There's a video that was launched by UW. So UW is the main business that we are all partnered with. Terry's a UW partner. I'm a UW partner. We just created Sack the Boss because it's the name of our team, so that we can all work together. But I'm going to very quickly play a short video that just explains a little bit more about the flexibility of this position if you are a working mum. 2 seconds.
I can do the school run, I'm free to do that, and then when the children are in school, that's my utility warehouse time then. I can book appointments in that time, meeting up with team members, one-to-one sessions. Is it the most exciting topic in the world? No, it's boring bills, but everyone has got a bill to pay. Most people have paid their bills week 3, and as they say, there's too much month left at the end of the money. I work around the children, it doesn't interfere, and that's amazing. That weight has been completely lifted off my shoulders, where I've got no stress. Thanks to the business, I'm able to spend the time with them now, picking them up from school. That's most parents' dream, isn't it? This is a holiday tracker that we had off the company. We use this to stay on track for the Orlando holiday. Each customer that takes all the services with us, that's worth 4 holiday points. It just got the family on board, particularly the children. Each time I was out on an appointment, they were really excited when I got home. Mummy, how many stickers do we put on the chart? There's no one better to keep you accountable than your own children. So if I didn't go out on an appointment one night, my children would be on my case. I love it, absolutely love it. It's changed our lives.
Again, quite a good overview of life as a UW partner.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, Terry, so I've got down here tips if already in. And I think what I want to try and figure out here is there'll be a lot of people who are already part of UW who will watch this as well, not just within Sack the Boss, by the way. There are partners out with Sack the Boss, but UW partners who still, watch what we're up to. What tips would you have for them as somebody who's been in the business 20 months, had some really good times and maybe had some times of lesser activity? But if in everything in life, we can only learn from the mistakes that we make. And if we don't have other people guiding us away from the pitfalls that they've made, then other folk will just make the same mistakes. So for people who are in the team, what would you say are the mistakes you've made so that we can all learn how to avoid these pitfalls?
The mistakes I've made is not speaking to my warm market in the beginning, which is probably one that I should have done. Not asking for, help and support from my family to actually learn the job. So that was definitely a bit of a mistake. I relied on one of minis, and then obviously when the winter kicked in and we couldn't do them as much, that had a bit of an impact on what I could then do. So yeah, that was a mistake. I didn't write my list instantly the way that we're supposed to. That's also a mistake. Yeah, that's probably my two things that I've done. Learn how to do the presentation and how to do it well, and ask for referrals. I spent my first 3 months not asking for referrals because I was scared. So yeah.
Well, I think you said some really good things there, because the struggles that people will have when they join this are their pipeline.
Yeah.
And most of the things you've mentioned there are pipeline related. Speaking to folk, we prejudge what folk are going to say. At the end of the day, every single person in the United Kingdom pays a gas bill, an electricity bill, and a phone and a broadband and a mobile bill. They're all already paying it. But what they don't know that we do is that you can get the cheapest energy tariff in the market only through us. That's official as of today. We've got the cheapest mobile deals in the market, unlimited everything, £20, including 5G and Wi-Fi calling on the UK's largest network, and every SIM after it's only a tenner. But yet folk, you can't access these prices. So sometimes folk do, by not building their list, it means they don't get the message out there early enough. And when they start to get those wee gaps in their diary, sometimes they'll shrink away.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to know that because they're mistakes I made as well. We've all made them. But it's good for folk to hear, because we've got quite a lot of new folk joined in the last 3 months, and if they can hear from you that they were the mistakes you made, they now know not to let that affect them.
Yeah.
Because, this isn't sales. If you're already buying something and somebody else shows you how to get that same thing for less money, but it's a higher quality of product, then that can't be selling. That can only be helping.
Yeah. And I am the world's worst salesperson, officially. I get the worst for sales. I was never, but customer service, I'm always top of your leaderboard. So
yeah. Well, listen, I was going to say, look, at the end of the day, selling is not really about all these mad daft techniques. Selling is about just being kind and being nice to people, because folk don't buy from folk they don't like.
No.
And that's from somebody who's sold for 20 odd years. So the simple key to doing any form of sales is be yourself. Don't be a div. Don't try and manipulate people. Just be kind, be nice, and be confident in what you're offering. And that's what makes any good kind of selling. Right, so future, Terri. Oh, can I just quickly touch? There was a time in this business where you lost your mojo.
Yeah.
And you not threw your toys out the pram, but we lost you for a wee short time.
Yeah.
Tell everybody what happened. I think it's important.
Well, I was doing really well, and I was maybe about 3 or 4 customers off future team leader, and I was a couple of points away from getting a holiday, and I couldn't get anybody to meet with me. One of my niece had went by the wayside because they'd stopped, and I got cold feet, I think is what I would say. I didn't speak to my warm market. I tried a couple of people, and then I kind of got that, fear to speak to anybody else. The nose got on top of me, which, you shouldn't really, people aren't saying no to you. I kind of took it a wee bit personally. I missed out on my holiday, and I started back uni, and I put the business down. And I was just like, I never got my FTL, and I got a wee bit disheartened. And it took me a wee minute or two to, you must say, like, kick up the bump and pick it back up.
What do you think made you kick yourself up the bum, though? What happened?
I got people that I knew started coming back to me and asking me about the business. because by that point I'd been in it and enough, and people began to know who I was and what I did. And my brother kind of helped me, because he came to me and asked me if I could swap his bills over. And now he was one I'd already tackled, saving him a bit of money a month, and he wasn't interested in leaving BT at the time, so he wanted his BT Sports, which, you know, we've all came up against things like that. But I kind of took it a wee bit personally because it was my brother. But when he came back to me, that really helped me. And do you know what else helped? Keep me in with the training and watching everybody else coming in and doing it, and seeing them being able to do it. And I was just like, I can totally do this. I don't know why it's that wee niggling doubt in the back of your mind saying you're not very good, you can't get this done, but you can. Of course you can. Everybody can.
Yeah. That's really a good share, Terry. I think that'll be good for everyone to hear that, because nobody joins Utility Warehouse, or nobody joins Sack the Boss for an incentive. They join it to make money and build that ongoing royalty income that will pay them for the rest of their life and set them free. The incentives are just the cherries on top.
Yeah.
So when we get them, fantastic, let's celebrate these wins. But I missed a safari in South Africa for 4, me, the wife, and 2 kids. My wife has always been on about, Dale, I would love to go on a safari. I would love to see these amazing animals. And Bojo's here missed that incentive. And I had to explain. I also missed Disneyland, Florida, all paid for by UW. So I've missed a 10 grand which safari. I've missed a 10 grand holiday for 4 to Orlando, all paid for, tickets, flights, accommodation, spent, you name it. Done it twice. I'm still here. I'm still here.
Many more since. You've got many more in front of us.
Well, I've certainly got more. But look, the point I'm trying to say is we all miss things from time to time. In the team, people should not beat themselves up about these things. We didn't join for the incentives. They're just the perks. But the reason I created Sack the Boss is times that when you were saying there, Terry, that when we start to doubt ourselves, it's human nature. We doubt ourselves when we start going out of our comfort zone. Comfort zone for everyone is sitting doing what you've always done, but no magic happens there, and your income certainly doesn't grow in your wee hotspot. But you get out there and you start putting yourself out. Yeah, you'll hit some challenges. Yes, you'll miss some incentives, but just by putting yourself out there, you grow and you develop. And I can already see you, Terry. See, when I first met you in the WAMs, you were really bubbly. And you were always such a nice girl. I loved doing WAM slots with you. But you weren't speaking with the confidence that you're speaking now about the business.
I definitely didn't have it.
I can see the difference just in your posture on how you're talking about what your plans are moving forward. And to be honest, see, for me, that is what I do this for. Seeing you grow and develop and get your own kind of, do you know what? I think I've reached a level now that I can really go on and push this forward. And that if we all work together and we all help each other, we all win. So
thanks, Dale.
Yeah. Listen, this is not like working. This is fun.
It is, exactly.
So listen, that's us. 28 minutes. I don't want to go over 30. So Terry, have you any final comments for anyone watching before we close off?
I would just say, prepare, write a list, and just bite the bullet and come and do it. It's only a tenner.
Yeah. Okay, well, listen, thank you very much, everyone that's tuned into this. We're trying to do lives every week. We've got a couple more lined up. And if you're watching this and you're not part of what we do, but you would like some more information, along the bottom of the screen is our website, sacktheboss.co.uk. You can go to the website, download an information pack. It answers all your questions about the pay plan, about UW, the company, about the services that we offer and how amazing they are, and all the benefits that we can offer customers. And I think that's it. If you know Terry or you'd like to speak to Terry directly, then Terry, when this will be on the Sack the Boss page. Are you okay if folk just PM you directly if they've got any questions they'd like to know a bit more about what it is that we're doing, or if they do download an information pack, if you saw Terri, then just stick Terry's name when you're downloading that pack, and that way I can let Terri get in touch with you and answer any questions you've got. But failing that, thanks a lot for coming on, and you're doing great, Terri. Keep it up.
Thanks, Dave.
All right. Right, troops. See you all later.